What it do? Thank you for another edition of Tapping Into your boy King Crowder. I apologize. I've been gone in hibernation for a minute. You know, the holiday weekend, the Super Bowl, and travel. But thank you. If you could be anywhere in the world on a late night tap in, but you chose to be here with your boy King Crowder, and I want to let you know that I appreciate that. So while we here, I'm going to go for a little bit tonight to give you my opinion, because I believe this is a moment of celebration, to talk about it, and also to have a detailed response. If you're new to the channel, I am the greatest host in the known universe, known as King Crowder, millennial edition, inspired by others that came before me. Hopefully you get to tap in and learn something this evening. Let's go. First thing I want to do is share you the story that showed that foundational Black American movement has went international and global. Remember, at one point in time, they told you it was not real. They tried to ignore you, and they said it had no sustainability. But the media and other people will show you things to show you how they really feel. What you have to do is to be able to watch it. Pay attention.
On this Black History Month, we're highlighting foundational Black Americans whose ingenuity, innovations, and labor play a critical role in American culture and infrastructure, including Alexander Miles, who invented automatic elevator doors in 1887.
Did you hear that?
And Garrett Morgan, who invented the three-light traffic signal in 1923. And our next guest is working to ensure that foundational Black Americans' contributions are known.
Before the modern day toilet, the can, the pot, the throne, the john, whatever you call it, going to the bathroom used to be messy, uncomfortable, it smelled bad, and it also spread disease. All that began to change because the foundational Black American invented the modern indoor toilet, and his name was Thomas Elkin.
Yeah, thank goodness for Thomas Elkin. And that is just one of many videos.
I want you to pay attention to the bottom logo too, honoring the contributions of foundational Black Americans on Black American History Month. Shout out to our ancestors and those that accomplished great things. King Crowder, why are you starting off this video with this subject? Because this is a watershed moment. I'm a millennial, y'all. Was in college before we even knew what the term FBA, non-FBA meant. I want you to pay attention to the story I'm about to tell you and why it is such a watershed moment for me. I went to college in Hampton University, y'all. I'm from a freedom town in a small town in Virginia. My folks' legacy comes from 1750 Mount Pleasant, Tennessee, as they migrated and fought in the Civil War, when one side of my family went to the Union Army and the other side went to the Confederates. My ancestral name, Crowder, which is the name King Crowder that I call myself, Terrell's my real name, that we go from, is because of the legacy that my family fought from. The plantation that they worked on was called the Polk Plantation. My seven-time grandfather chose his last name, Claude Polk, and then changed it to Claude Crowder. They got their land allotments in Monroe, North Carolina, and later on, they migrated to the Virginias and other areas where my family still resides to this day. The reason why the foundational Black American movement is such a real thing, y'all, is that my journey of discovering how serious it was between the FBAs and the non-FBA mentality started with me. I'm the first in my family to go to college and move away, right? Most of my family has stayed local, blue collar, done a different route than I was chosen to. I was the son who was vetted into, cuz son, go to school, go to school, to school. So I did it. I honored my parents' wishes. And when I migrated to go to school in the big city, because you know I'm from the country town, in Norfolk, Hampton, VA Beach area, shout out to the 757. I'll never forget, you got to think, y'all, growing up, most of my teachers were FBA. All the contacts, all the people I met, all the studies, all the learning, everything I've done in my life, I've primarily been in foundational Black American environments. I don't think I met a Latino until I was in high school, I was in college. I don't think I've met any other ethnicities based on how I grew up and how I was raised. So I get to college. I am trying to learn, trying to get it, and trying to get an understanding. The one thing I learned immediately was the hostility from some of my professors. The professors at the university I was at were African, Caribbean descent. Anytime I would mention anything about what I needed, how I wanted to learn, any study hours, I felt that energy. Now, at the time, you got to understand, this is 2012, right? I didn't know what the term FBA, non-FBA mentality was. You got to think, I grew up in the FBA Foundational Freedom Town. All of my teachers were that way. The spirit of helping you, assisting you, loving you, wanting to help you was always there. I never met that other energy until I got into the other environments. I'm in college. I'm attempting to learn. I'm trying to figure it out, right? None of my family, none of my folks ever really went through that journey. And immediately head on, I noticed the energy, the mentality. That is the first time I've ever heard the word Jareer Nakata. That was the first time I ever heard a slur about Black Americans from professors and other students. Now I'm going through my mind as I played that video because people used to think this thing is just made up. But how do I, from a freedom town in Virginia, then go to college, experience the same thing? The reason why we experience the same thing is because we were taught incorrectly. Not only were we taught incorrectly as I grew up, not only were we not educated on the xenophobia in reverse way that is taught towards us, we weren't taught about how immigration thing. We weren't taught about racism, colonialism, how it impacted everyone, and we'll see it everywhere. We were not taught on how Black Americans are truly different. So I go along my journey. I'm in my college classes. I'm trying to figure it out. Immediately, I would always hear words. I'm not Black. I'm Jamaican. I'm not Black. I'm Ghanaian. I'm not Black. I'm not this. I want you to think about this, y'all. I'm an 18-year-old man from a freedom town in rural Virginia that grew up around us. There was no other mentality as that I am other. There was we support each other. We love each other. We here for each other. My word is bond. The communal aspect is embedded in my spirit until this day. I was never even taught to question another brother, but it's always to give you the benefit of the doubt. So that brush early on the non-FBA energy is real. There just wasn't words for it. It just wasn't discussed. It was never checked. It was never just talked about. But I felt it. I remember as an 18-year-old man feeling it. Like, yo, why is they so disrespectful? Why don't they study with us? Why isn't that love and admiration equal? Why do you always gotta explain who you are and separate yourself? Why do you other at a HBCU? And it was crazy as I go along my journey, and I highlight that moment because these moments are real. And what happened to me as I go along my journey, right? I graduate, I move to DC. In DC, it is even more highlighted. It is even more divisive. It is the parents of the immigrants that we see and other people trying to discredit where I'm from. That is when I started my FBA journey and my moment of awakening. My moment of awakening was my parents implemented me, be a good man, son, be honorable, be respectful, be loving, be caring, be spiritual, enlightening, be helpful, all of those good things, right? But the journey for a millennial Black man growing up in this country is full shared that we have to teach different. We can't ignore our problems. Foundational Black Americans, the energy, the mindset, the reset is now a global issue. Why is it global now? Because number one, we've all felt it. Some of us never talked about it. Some of us just ignore. Put subscribe. Yeah, man, will you subscribe? Please shout out to y'all, man. 6'7". That's funny. Did you no, didn't hate school, young fellas. Didn't hate school. Just give my opinion. But the reason why I'm bringing this up, y'all, is that when we see those stories like drop early on ABC about a moment and a mission going global, it is because the fight has been around. Gen X, shout out to Gen X, man. The Tariqs, the all the guys that inspired me to help me learn, the other readers, the Malcolm X, everybody along my journey that will help you. But my path started in those moments. And when I hit my path, I understood now that they really do try to ignore us. They really do try to disrespect us. So the mentality of paperwork check, groundbreaking research, gatekeeping, Black empowerment, unification, all those thought, spirits, and energy came about because of this moment. You got to understand, it's a power play being done right in front of your eyes. If somebody told me 10 years ago there will be a redefining moment, there will be a moment where Black initiatives will be first and other people's tasks and obligations will be gone, there will be a moment where young Americans should be put in the forefront of conversations. There will be a moment where I have to make a decision, whose task and whose list of objectives do I work for? There will be a moment where everything that I want to put on the table, everything that I care about and I want to work for will be the focal point. Not my parents, not my grandma, not my grandparents. That there will be a split in Black American society. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, if you do not know, there is a split. The split is the older group and the younger mentality. It is the churchgoers and the go along, get along gang and the Black empowerment energy. It is the people that believe that I'm going to get my just due and those who just want to get along. It's not a battle. The youth are winning. The youth will determine what the culture is going to be. And it's so influential that it's changing everything. Music, dress, the way we speak, what's popping, cultural impact. It is even affecting technology. I want you to think about this for a second. If you're a Black American in this country, economic-based conversations are at the forefront of every conversation. You can't escape it. You can't deny it. You can't run from it. You cannot afford to not talk about it. Why do you say this, King Crowder? I left a super neighborhood meeting. Shout out to the one in Sunnyside. Shout out to the brother Lloyd. Tremendous meeting. Every political leader in action that came up mentioned something economic. Of course, local issues are important. We get that, right? We're never going to ignore and say we don't want to worry about the political discussions. But this is the first time that I heard openly a young brother, same age as me, saying, what about the economic contracts? What are we getting? What are we doing? What are the results of voting these leaders in? I don't care if they're Black. I need my fair slice of the pie. I want you to think about this for a second, y'all. Federal contracts in Houston, Texas is less than 1% Black people. All these contractors, all these buildings, all these developments, and all these things are happening in this area. I'm not getting none of it. I was taken back. I was shocked. But I heard this brother go in front of a political leader and say that subject. Ladies and gentlemen, millennials are taking over politics. Yes, there were still the old conversations. Yes, the shields were fully gauged. But I heard with myself in my own ears that money was a conversation. No, you can't ignore it. You cannot talk about it. You can mention all the other initiatives, all the other talking points, but the money that is guaranteed that we are owed in our economic issues are at the forefront. So what did I learn immediately, King Crowder? I learned they tried to ignore us, but now they can't. The old generations no longer have the sway. So if you're in politics, religions, or any of those things, you have to talk directly to our base. We don't talk around issues. We're direct. And a direct conversation that must be going on is that FBAs will not be ignored. FBAs are centering solutions. FBAs are not ignoring problems. FBAs are not allowing BS to slide. You can call us divisive. I'm starting to learn something, y'all. When you hear that word divisive, that's a red flag. Remember we heard the word toxic, narcissist, and those words back in the day? I want you to add the word divisive to that. Divisive is meant to be a flag on a play, a trickery, to throw you off, to make you change the subject. It is meant to ignore the problem. I'm going to say something publicly. Sometimes you need to be divisive. Sometimes you need to be rude. Sometimes you need to do what you got to do to shake the room. If every time I go into a room where it's a concrete and serious discussion and everything has to be fair weather pillows and nice, we're not doing nothing. I want you to be rude. I want you to have a strong feelings and impact. I want you to tell me sometimes how it is. Rip the Band-Aid off. If every time we have a discussion about certain things, it has to be a certain tone. It has to be a level of energy. It has to be a certain level of agreeableness. We ain't get shit done. You are not getting anything done with anybody if it has to be a certain tone. You are not getting anything done if you expect everybody to have a certain friendliness nature when they discuss something. What you must do in this environment that we're in, remember, we are in a Trump era, ladies and gentlemen. No more friendly politics. No more play it by the book. No more when they go low, we go high. No, sir. We are in boots on the ground, nose to nose, forehead to forehead, chest to chest, face to face, aggression with aggression. You cannot be passive from now on. Don't believe me? Watch you get ignored. Watch nothing really getting done. You know, the reality check of this whole situation from the ABC News is that power is always taken. It is never given to you. That video was impactful, outstanding, superficial. But remember, you will see the banana in the tailpipe. The same people that are shaming you are doing the same thing with lack of understanding. Look at this tweet right here. I'm not mad, family. But if the word divisive is the word, why are we highlighting 6 African players on the NFL team and not them being black? If they're black, like they are, y'all, I'm not doubting that. Why are you highlighting them to be different? How is this not divisive? How is you highlighting what tribe or what other thing you come from not seen the same way? Because it is. I can disrespect you, but you can't disrespect me. I can point out your flaws, but you bet not point out mine. I can disrespect you publicly. I can shame you. I can discourage you. But if you discourage me, you're wrong. If you show me of what I'm doing is bad, you're wrong. I know. I'm doing it too. But I'm only counting what you do to me, though. That's the only thing that matters. But a tweet, a picture, a word, worth 1,000 sentences. And to see this publicly, I'm not mad at it. I just want to know why is the other way caused so much lack of understanding. In Black American History Month, we have just as much right to have cultural pride, right? Because you do. You tell me where you from. You other yourself. You make it an undeniable point to let me know you are different. But when I do the same, it's an issue. What does that tell me? A, you don't respect me. B, you don't believe my opinion is valid. Or C, I don't like you and I'm going to keep pointing out no matter what. It's up for you to make that choice. Not me. Shout out to the fellas. Shout out. Happy Black History Month. For sure. First FBA History Month. Facts, y'all. All that stuff, man. Shout out to y'all. But let's keep cooking, y'all. What it's showing me is that I can say something and move in a different way, but long as you don't do it, Because if you do it, you highlight my inconsistencies. So what do? I tell you do something that I'm not willing to do. I'm telling you I'm going to make a status. I'm going to publicly delineate. But if you do is wrong, I know I'm saying things, and even though I got to agree, no, what I'm saying is that, it's wrong when you do it, not me. I'm just publicly saying this with the energy that I want to get into because I see the influence that you guys have, and what I do matters more. Oh, you clean crowd, you being hyperbolic. Am I? Okay. Remember, when I talk, I bring receipts. This is the number one guy. Nigerian man, he's not a black man. Emmanuel Acho. Pay attention.
Actually showed us what America is. America is taking the brilliance, the beauty of so many other countries coming together in one country, so many different languages, so many different heritages, so many different cultures coming together in one place to all be celebrated. Yep. He had the Puerto Rican.
Wait a minute. We don't celebrate Black American, Acho? Everything you said falls on deaf ears. Because you don't celebrate one group, you'll say something different. I love this black man. Truth, man. I'm only going to tell the truth, y'all. I'm only going to say what I'm going to say. I'm going to keep it 100. But remember, he can highlight what he feels, but the moment we do the same, it's a problem. Let's keep listening.
Flag. He had the American flag. He had several different flags from the different Latin American countries and different North American countries. Bad Bunny actually showed us that if you're willing to step outside of yourself and open up your mind for even the sliver of a second, you too can learn, you can be entertained, you can have a little understanding, you can have a little empathy, and you can have fun while doing it. I think so.
Was the empathy ever given the other way? Yeah, you should get that from Bad Bunny's performance. Let's keep it real, y'all. It wasn't that good. It wasn't.
So many leaders could actually take a note from Bad Bunny's halftime performance, because while it was entertaining, he was also teaching us some messages. Remember, I believe he had a young individual that was was subject to mistreatment from ICE out there.
He was detained. It was a 5-year-old boy.
A 5-year-old boy that was detained.
He handed him a
He
Grammy.
had a wedding that was out there and a proposal that was out there. On the football, he had Together We Are America. And
why is ICE the subject so much more overshadowed than other things that happen in America? I'm not saying it's not an issue, right? But why is this issue so much overstated when we see brothers get incarcerated every day and every year? Why is the energy so much more important? Why? I'm going to give the same answer they give to us, y'all. Comply. Follow the law. Of course, we don't agree with it. But why? We see how they move all the time, man. We see it. We see how they move. We see how they treat us. We see police doing what they want to do for a while now. Ain't no difference. Not saying what ICE doing is right. You know, I ain't that crazy to say that. But what I'm saying is that we are acting like this is groundbreaking. We are acting like, injustice doesn't happen all the time in America. We're cool with injustice. We are cool with disrespect. We are cool with people treating other people wrong. If we want, we would speak on it all the time. So why is it that one more group is more highlighted than others? You're telling me it's important. I'm not disagreeing it. But why is all injustice not important? Why is all disrespect not important? Because when you pick and choose, it invalidates everything. In this issue, I get it. I'm not for it. But if we're for Black boys getting hurt, Black children getting murdered, all that stuff, why is it so hard to be consistent across the board? That's just my question I have, man. I saw the spiritual advisor and preacher Kurt Franklin speak on it. We don't hear y'all church members speaking on black issues. Why ICE? If it's wrong all the time. You cannot pick and choose. Because when you pick and choose, it makes it seem like it's an agenda. And I'm going to let it keep playing and hear more of it.
There's nothing more powerful than that to me, because oftentimes I feel like we think individually we are America. America's not America because of one individual group.
Big facts, y'all. We ain't tolerating any more disrespect. FBA facts. I'm with you. ICE problem is the same problem we have with police. It is, but nobody said that it wasn't. Why don't we speak it on any other time? I'm not disagreeing with you. Stop resisting, they said. They did say that. What I'm saying is they can't get rid of one without the other. I agree with you. That's all I'm saying, Shannon. Ms. Gordon, all I'm saying is that if we got a problem with it all the time, let's have a problem with it all the time. It's hard for me to get upended and have strong feelings if we let it slide any other time. Stop breaking the law. They said facts. The disrespectful nature. The way it was said so blatantly. That's a fact. I agree with you on that.
America not America because of white people. America not America because of black people. America not America because of Hispanics.
I hate this dude. America's not America because black. What? Bruh. Weren't you the same guy that was saying messages to a black man and riding that wave? Weren't you the same one trying to captivate off of pain you quote unquote said you didn't have because you grew up in a Nigerian, whatever you said you grew up in? Bro, stop it, man. You lying. You just saying shit and nobody agree with it. And you know what makes it worse? We can see that you're not sincere about it, dog. Everybody know. It's very common. It's very valid. Ain't nobody know that you're not hiding it for showing it. We know it's an agenda. We know what you saying is not popping. We know every bit of thing you are pushing towards us will not and cannot have a lasting understanding. You know why it's such a big deal to me, ladies and gentlemen? It's because out of all the problems we see and happen on, and people mention things, right? Immigrants this, immigrants that, let's push this narrative more and more. Remember at the Grammys, it was last week, y'all, when Shabuzi made that comment about how brave it was and what was bravery. How come we never heard the words bravery with FBAs? Isn't it brave to have dogs sicked on you and change the laws? Isn't it brave to have water holes spit in your face, but you still change the laws of this country? Isn't it brave to outlast years of racial deprivation and socialization? Isn't that brave? Why isn't the words brave, honor, respect ever given to FBAs? You ever notice it's always negative connotations? It's never what it is. It's, I'm going to put you in the bad angle because you go against the grain. Because you are a free thinker. Because you are not willing to go along with the program. So when I hear these words, like Acho was saying, oh, it's initiative. Oh, it's codified. No laws are going to change. No laws permit. Everyone should be doing the legal things. Big fact. Right? You know I'm going to keep it real, y'all, always. I always notice that, y'all. I always notice that. I always notice that words that are triggered towards us, man, is always bad. So I want you to think about that psychologically, y'all. Let's go deep. If every time I hear you, I implement a negative connotation with you, what does that symbolize? To me, as a thinking, free thinking person, it's an agenda, and I'm trying to create a narrative. If every time I mention your name, your legacy, your lineage, and what you do, it's a bad thing. Whenever you hear somebody always speak bad on something, ladies and gentlemen, the first question I want you to ask is why? Why is your perspective always positive? Why is their perspective always bad? Because remember, the man or woman that does no wrong can't be corrected. The man or woman that cannot unlearn what they previously learned is not an intellectual. You must be willing to change your opinion, your perspective, and update your records at the drop of new information. That's what an intellectual is. Everything I've learned, everything I know, I must be willing to change. Because I know change is the only thing that is common when it comes to intellectual battles. So what do we know now? We know now, right now in America, we have to change everything we've been doing. We know right now in America, we have problems. We know right now in America, we must invest in our American children, boys, and citizens. Why? Because everything we're doing right now is not working. The infrastructure, the driving, the mentality, the teaching, the eating is not working. And that's okay to say. But you know what's not okay? To continue to do the same thing and act like everything is all right. To not pivot, to not adjust. To not say, man, you know what? The way we going about this thing ain't working. Let's keep doing it. That's wrong. So as we continue to move forward in this foundation of Black American journey, you can't ignore us. You can't. You can't invalidate us. You can't. You cannot say and allow disrespect to be a normal ways in a normal language. And the reason why we got to stand on that, if you are in our spaces, i.e., bro, I really don't like his cat. When you say things like this, you will get checked. Pay attention. Fair use.
I just knew that, he gave it a 4 out of 10 or whatever.
Sorry, I can't play because it has that audio. What Ebro says is that Mace's opinion was invalid. Mace's opinion is invalid because I'm Puerto Rican and what it meant to me. Ebro, I'm sorry. When were you ever an artist? When could you critique or speak on things and how they impact people? That is your opinion. And that's fine to have yours. But to say that others that did not like the halftime show are wrong because you felt that way? Who the hell are you, buddy? You know the one thing I hate about them New York cats, y'all? I'm sorry, I'm sure my NYC bias. All my NYC fans, I apologize. But some of y'all men up there really need to get punched in the chest. When y'all hear stuff that just don't make sense, y'all don't call it what it is. New York has that rough exterior nature with everybody else, but not the people that live where they live. Think about this for a second. You had a Mexican named Tekashi that said the N-word publicly, that snitched, that told, that disrespected the culture and everything he stood for. But y'all was cool with it. You had somebody representing the culture in the city who didn't represent it well. You had a plant, an agent, a lot of people want to call them, inside your boundaries. So the reason why New York fell off is because New York stopped standing on business. You got political. You lost the edge. You got agreeable. You got to the point where you don't like to fight New York City. Everybody used to like what you stood for, New York toughness. But now it's all New York City political correctness. If you ain't got to believe me, look at the music. Look at the innovation. Look at the red tape. Look at what your radio hosts speak of and talk about. They don't talk about controversial things. They always play it safe. They don't discuss the hot button issues. I can tell you every radio station in New York City gonna say, we hate Trump, anti this. Never what we're doing for you. Never what investments I'm doing for the people. Never alternative idea. Never anything that is diversified just like this country is. That's why it's hard to win. That's why it's hard to be relatable. It's hard to be relatable if you live in those bubbles and those echo chambers. Californians and the LAs. New York and the LAs. They're so different from the rest of the world. The United States, if you did not know, is much more conservative. The United States as a whole is not left-leaning. Don't agree with me. Look at the stats. Go to a different state. Visit a different town. Leave your city. You will be surprised how different the world thinks. The real America, it's not that we're divided. It's just that people that live in a certain areas can no longer dictate climate. And the reason why it seems like we're so separated in this country, y'all, and we so many issues that we have going on, is that you have people literally from other places of the world coming here and disrespecting our own. Pay attention. Pay attention.
On handout. That's not me.
Are you in Haiti?
I build my own.
Are you in Haiti?
Say again?
Are you in Haiti?
No, I'm not in Haiti.
So what the hell did you build?
I built my own. When I say I built my own, that means I have my own business that I do. That's what I do.
You talking about the business?
I want you to think about this for a second. Shout out to this brother right here, Hood Scholar. He pointed out something correct. You have people that come in from other countries who we know need development, who we know need something, and they will say to American citizens, I built something and you have built nothing. Pay attention.
I do not
Wait. Are you talking about the business that you're only here to do business because Black Americans fought for you to be here in 1965? But is that the business that you're talking about that you're able to even have today? Because
I just think that you're just trying to take the credit for your ancestors and you haven't done anything yourself.
My mom is my ancestor.
Even hearing that point is crazy. I want to think about this for a second, y'all. Remember when I mentioned that point earlier about bravery? If somebody in my family helped build something and we're living here and you come here to live with us, how is that not a part of me? How do you separate that? How do you rationalize that? How do you say, man, I know it's what you did, but man, I'm doing that now? How?
I get it all down. You see, they don't understand how building, they don't understand how building works. They don't understand the time that it takes. They think things are supposed to happen right now, which is crazy because if things happen like that, why the fuck Haiti still ain't got no toilets over there if things are supposed to happen like this? So when they say we're not building, Black Americans never stopped building. There's a series of things that happened in order for us to get here to where we're at today, and we're still here. So I understand Haiti only has 1804. After that, you niggas went ghost. Y'all didn't even create a pencil sharpener. You niggas, since 1804, you didn't even.
He being OD. He's funny, but he's being OD. I ain't even gonna say that, y'all. I just find it fascinating, and I gotta go back to this point. We know that we have other countries that need help and need assistance and need change. Why do you then come to people who have implemented the change, who have built the things, who have cultivated the newness? Why do you come to them expecting them that they don't understand that? I agree it's jealousy. It's not only jealousy, y'all. It's dangerous. It depends on what your family is going to do. First step of generation of wealth is getting married and building a family. My opinion. But let's keep going. You have somebody from an immigrant background who's probably successful in his own right. But what this brother showed out is that when you say something, but you're not doing it where your family or roots are from, you sound crazy. And he's right. If I'm not building where I'm at, if I'm not growing where I'm from, if I just left it, fleeing is the proper word, and I don't invest it, am I successful? Am I on top of it? Am I leading by the example that my parents and my fathers and them set? Or am I removing the land allotments, the things that I had growing on in my country? And am I crazy for coming somewhere else and saying the people that developed it have nothing more than understanding? I don't know the history. I don't know the stories. I don't know the legacy. I'm just going out spewing outstanding rhetoric. What would you call that person? I know what I would call them. Ignorant, disrespectful, unable to learn, unwilling to learn, and they need to be re-educated. That is the part where FBAs are right now. Our history will not be ignored. What you do won't stop our mission and our glory. Everything that you mention, you say disrespectful, we are putting in our pocket and we're not forgetting it. Why is it important to do this, y'all? It's petty. No, it's accountability. The accountability has to be held on both sides, not just our wing. If you say something, ladies and gentlemen, I love that we're getting back to that way the way I grew up, y'all. I mean, I'm older than most of my people out there, but you know I still love you. I'm from that era that if you say something, you have to stand on it. I don't want you to shoot nobody, but I'm willing to put hands on you. If you are disrespectful, you must be ready for the fade, the fight, whatever you call it, to pull up. You must be ready for that. And that era is reverting back. Remember, when you say something you're supposed to say, you get ready for them consequences. Good, bad, or indifferent. Win, lose, or draw. Like that guy said on that live to that gentleman, this is how I feel. All right. You must understand how you feel comes with something. What you think has to mean something. Oh, King Crowder, you just talking. It don't mean that much. It don't. A video is worth 1,000 words. I want you to see what's happened in the energy we are on.
Go ahead on, man. Watch out the way, man. Watch out the way, man. Hey, y'all need to stop, man. Y'all need to stop, man. I got it. You can't put your hands on him, bro. That's it, right? Where your fucking phone? Let me go, man. 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 Hey, y'all need to stop, yo. Please, man. I'm begging you, please. I'm begging you, please, man.
When somebody tells you multiple times to leave them alone, y'all, please do it. The man I fear is not the man that's running his mouth. It's the man asking for forgiveness. When somebody says, leave me alone, ladies and gentlemen, when somebody tells you multiple times to stop disrespecting them, do not fear the lady or woman who barks. Fear the lady or woman or man, that tells you means it. People are getting to this point in society where we're checking it. Do not be unshocked when people put hands on you, bro. Remember, online, we're comfortable saying the cuss words and the slurs and the disrespect. But in real life, you got to be ready to defend yourself. Because if you disrespect me, drop your location. I'm not going back and forth. I'm not allowing any disrespect towards any FBAs to slide. I am willing to put hands, feet, elbows, nose, shoulders, chest on you. Remember, y'all, this energy that we saw in this video, I didn't want to show too much due to the violence, right? But what I'm saying is that people are no longer going for that open disrespect now. I'm back, y'all. I'm telling you the truth, y'all. Y'all know I'm keeping it 100 with you. Be careful who you talk to. Be careful who you think you can put hands on. Be careful of the people that don't go back and forth with you. And the reason why I want to make this very clear, y'all, is I'm seeing a lot of subtle disrespect happening. And the disrespect becomes so normalized that people don't understand we're in a new climate. This is another video that I think will go viral.
People be saying Mexicans shouldn't be saying the N-word in their song, bro, holding the Mexican flag and saying nigga in the song, bro. What do you think about that, bro?
Man, that's how we is down here in Texas.
That's not how you down here in Texas, because you in Texas just like the rest of the country. I want all my Latinos to say something. I love you, brother. Don't talk like that. In this new America that we in, y'all, don't let this brother get you your butt beat. Slur for slur, hands for hand. Texas is not the South. I know people look at me like I'm crazy. The politics that goes down here will get you ate up somewhere else. I'm telling you. New energy is around.
That's how they talk shit. That's just what it is. You understand? Other niggas from other places, they don't understand that shit. You know what I'm saying? But in Texas.
No, we understand it, bro. We just see how you really move. As a Texas transplant, I don't play that. I don't like it. I don't respect it. And frankly, I do it back. Slur for slur. If that's what we at, that's what we at. It's up.
That's just how we talk. You know what I'm talking about? Niggas like, that's my favorite word, to be honest. I say this shit every sentence. You know what I'm talking about? That's my vocabulary, nigga.
What would you tell somebody that says like, hey, I'm offended by you saying it like that? Like, what would you say to that person? Like,
but like, this is how I talk. You know what I'm talking about?
Remember, y'all, this is just how I talk. Well, there's two pieces of how I talk. The slurs back is how I talk. It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. You said what you said. I respect it. Respect what I say. It's just how I talk. I don't see nothing wrong with it, fellas. It's just how I talk. That's what you said, bro. So don't be surprised if I keep that same energy. I think it has to be met that way. That's not a reason. You know the reason why I'm so big on this, ladies and gentlemen? What is it in? You talk like I call mama that? Is it cool if I call your mama that? Is it cool for you to slur back to your people? What is it in? Respect can't be one way. And I'm going to tell y'all something personally down since I've been down here. A lot of dudes be scared. A lot of dudes I've met from different places be scared. A lot of black people from other places choose peace. A lot of black people are scared to say one man by themselves, chest out. This is how you feel. Call me crazy, say what I want to say, but I'm going to tell you what I think it is. I'm fearless with it. I'm passionate about it. But I know it's not the ladies. Nope. Make phase normal again. You feel me, Mobile? Peace. Shout out to my dog, man. You always rocking with me. I don't know why the sound ain't working with it. Shout out to my dog. But no, I just talk like, hey, come on, y'all. I just talk like it is the most disrespectful of all. Ain't that crazy, y'all? Remember, people talk like that when you allow it. People talk like that because they do not think it's consequences. And it's not all, y'all. I'm not going to be disrespectful and say it's all our people. But a lot of us be shook. A lot of us try to avoid conflict because we are taught not to have cultural pride and cultural understanding. So when you're around somebody like me that stand on code and stand firm with it, it's uncomfortable. I've seen it a lot, man. My time in Houston, I've had some uncomfortable conversations with some brothers. I've had some brothers shy away from some conversations in certain subjects. I'm standing on tall with it. I say it with my chest. Good, bad, or indifferent. We ain't got to be friends. We ain't got to be homies. We ain't got to stand on them, but I'm going to stand on business. And if we need to go fade for fade, slur for slur, battle for battle, however it got to be done. It is what it is. But one thing I'm always going to do is earn my respect the way I want yours. Because you are not going to get the same respect while disrespecting me. Nah, I'm not going for it. You're going to respect me with either way it got to be. Because my people didn't work so hard to get what I got to do to allow another person, people, call me an ethnic slur, and I got to be cool with it. And the people that are cool with it, let's keep it funky, y'all. A lot of them shook. I know it's an uncomfortable conversation. A lot of them be shook. How do you know they shook, King Crowder? You speaking for a whole lot of people. I'm speaking for a whole lot of people because uncomfortable conversations are a lot of things that happen. They are. I'm gonna show you somebody else who's shook, y'all. Long-winded video, but I want you to get the context before I respond. Fair use. Fair use.
Anytime we start any gender wars, I'm out. Like, let's chop that. I'm getting there with diaspora wars too.
Remember, y'all, I want y'all to learn something from me, y'all. King Crowder gonna always give you game. If a man or a woman avoids intellectual discourse, red flag. If a man or a woman refuses to interact and try to have a conversation because they don't do it, red flag. You must emotionally and intellectually communicate your ideas. You must have a conversation, good, bad, or different. You must be able to have intellectual discourse. If you don't, red flag. And you can notice that all the time. If anytime we have a conversation, if it has to go your way, you bias. If anytime I must have a conversation that you don't like and you don't know how to defend yourself, you're biased. Intellectuals, put your hat on. You got to be able to defend yourself. You have to be able to go about your talking points. You have to be willing to have uncomfortable conversations. If the only time you can have a conversation if it's when it's comfortable, don't speak for people. Because conflict is the first word in resolution. To have a resolution, you first must have conflict. If you avoid the conflict, you will not have a resolution. People understand violence. People understand uncomfortableness. Anybody that tells you that they don't need to do that, run from them. You heard from King Crowder.
Because really arguing about who was colonized the best, and I'm cool on that too.
And remember, I pivot, I don't address the issue, and I change the subject.
All us talking about this shit in English, I'm good. That's why I don't, so like, I fall under the term of FBA. I am a foundational Black American due to the definition that they're doing. Like, I have, my history is here in America, and it date back to enslavement and chattel slavery, right? That's my history. All I know is here. All I represent is here. I love everything about my history. I love everything about me and my people.
You just said you don't like the delineation and diaspora. Man, make up your mind where you want to be at, dog. You can't have a strong feeling by saying you don't have an intellectual conversation about it and then saying you are the other thing. What? Y'all, remember, avoid intellectual conversations. Avoid detailed conversations. And pivot away from conversations. I can always point them out quickly.
I love everything about all of our contributions. It's a rich history. And I'm extremely proud of it. But arguing with niggas who went through the same thing because they come over here colonized?
No, they're not colonized. They're undermining. Always got to tell the truth, y'all. Always tell it, but always. Turn it up, please. Okay, I'm going to turn it up. My bad. I'm going to turn it up. Can you hear a little bit more? I got you. Hold up. I got you. You know I'm always listening to my people. Who sent, buddy? I don't want conflict. I don't want conflict. I just want to talk about it. Well, Shelly, Miss Gordon, let me tell you something. It is unavoidable to have conflict and not talk about it. There's no way in the world you will be able to have conflict with anybody and not willing to have a detailed conversation. It doesn't happen. So if anybody tells you you're going to get past something and you're not going to have an uncomfortable conversation with it, run. This is coming from me. I'm not telling you how you got to go about it. I'm not telling you what you got to do. I'm telling you it's not common. I'm going to turn it up one more time. Let me see how loud it is now. Tell me if it's better, y'all.
They come over here colonized and talk just like the people that, I mean, we got our own colonized people. We just call them coons. But we still got people who want to assimilate into whiteness and still like use white supremacist talking points and shit like that. Just because you come over here from somewhere else saying that it don't make me no difference. There's a lot of people who come over here and respect our plight here. There's a lot of people who give us our credit and just due and give us our respect for the contributions and the history and sacrifices that we made too. And if we're not going to acknowledge the people who do show us love the way we want to be shown love, then we can't make all of our attention go towards the people who don't.
I'm sorry about the volume being low, bro, y'all. What the brother is saying is a major talking point. It's something I want to debunk with people. If anybody I have a conflict with you, if anytime I have a conflict with you and you have an idea in your mind that it must remain positive, that doesn't mean we're having a prosperous conversation. I'm not saying I want to battle all the time, right? But the first word in conflict resolution is conflict. Conflict means I have to address something head on. I have to address the issue. I have to address the problem. I have to address the things that we're currently dealing with. That's what I have to do. So if you're telling me anytime we have this problem, it must be a certain way, run. Run, ladies and gentlemen. Don't let a person ever lie to you by saying, we're going to have good resolution without discussing things. Doesn't mean anything. It doesn't. I'm not saying every single confrontation, every single conflict needs to be a full flat out fight, a war. But what I am saying is that it is common. It's common to you to have a battle. It's common for you to have a disagreement. It's common to you to have an uncomfortable conversation. Remember, uncomfortable conversations don't mean bad. Uncomfortable conversations means we have opposing viewpoints, and that's good. If everybody I meet, they agree with me, that's a red flag. If everybody I talk to, they agree with me, that's a red flag. They are. I'm going to show you something else I disagree with that is a red flag, and I want you to see something. Pay attention, y'all. Fair use. Comment, like, share, subscribe, y'all. Tap in with me.
Black Americans are on TikTok stating that Black History Month is only meant to celebrate Black American history. And I 110% disagree. That's crazy. I can recognize that the concept of Black History Month started in America, but that's as far as that goes. To then come onto this app and state Black History Month is only meant to celebrate Black American history is absurd. And you are moving like the colonizers who put you there. First, y'all weren't even the first ones free. Second,
I got to ask y'all something, y'all. Why does everybody want to ride Black Americans' wave, FBA's wave? When did Black American History Month not be Black American History Month? Don't they got Caribbean Month? What? Ride the wave of what we doing? What? I don't get it. I don't. But I'm going to keep letting it play.
majority of the Black figures you celebrate during Black History Month have roots in the Caribbean, who then have roots to the motherland. How can you disregard the motherland and the two boat stops before y'all? Maya Angelou, Trinidadian. Stokely Carmichael, Trinidadian. Colin Powell, Jamaican. Harry Belafonte, Jamaican. Grandmaster Flash, Bayesian. Malcolm X, Grenadian. To concentrate the celebration of Black history to just the Americas is absolutely ridiculous and contradictory to celebrating Black.
You know why this post is kind of dangerous when you talk about stuff like this, y'all? You got to remember, when people show you who they are, you believe them flat out. But you have a young lady on a live from a different country feeling some type of way because Black FBAs want to celebrate their icons and say their history specifically for them. My first thing is, why? Caribbeans have a history month. Africans have a history month and day. Latinos have a heritage month. Why is that a bad thing? You have your time. Why is it that you want to ride our wave and undermine ours? You know why? You don't believe that yours is good enough. That's a direct answer. I'm going to undermine you and your wave because your wave is stronger than my wave and the impact is stronger than my wave and people care about yours. But mine, nobody cares about. UK had a History Month, Black History Month last October. I ain't hear one UK fact. I ain't hear nobody talking about it. I ain't see no TikTok stories. I ain't see none of that. All I see them talking about is what Black people doing. Don't y'all find that weird? Why are you discussing what we're doing in moments where y'all should be shining with y'all people? The reason why you do that is because the confidence in what you're supposed to be doing is not there. So as we get ready to summarize another great edition of Live on Sunday. Live on Wednesday. I'm talking about, look at me, y'all. Sorry, couldn't get in. Days got mixed up. Number one, delineation is working and it matters. The reason why it's working in this matters, ladies and gentlemen, because we are seeing it. At the beginning of this live, y'all, I played a video from CBS that acknowledged it. And like I gave you at the beginning part, man, for me, it is a full circle moment. They can't ignore us. They can't deny us because it was done systematically by ourselves. Grassroots, the Black Americans on the day-to-day made this movement pop. It wasn't given. It was taken. It wasn't selected. It was earned. This entire wave of what FBA is standing is groundbreaking. We will be written about in history in a phenomenally different way. Completely grassroots, completely powerful, and completely standing on our minds. Next, they know what we want, ladies and gentlemen. The message is clear. Like I told you, I went to a super neighborhood meeting. I heard millennial leaders that were standing inside the community, shout out to the Black areas in Houston, that used the words economic and tangible. It was said. The brother that was leading the meeting said, we need something economic. He said, we need something tangible. It was judges, political leaders, all type of people meeting in that meeting. And that's the first few words he kept saying. I didn't get to talk to him detail like I would like y'all because I had to come see y'all. But for me to hear that and see that in real time, shout out to FBA. The train is already on the way. Next, we have our focus. They cannot ignore us, ladies and gentlemen. They cannot deny it. They cannot say it ain't real anymore. It's real. It's here. The love is unstoppable. What does that mean now? What it means now, in fact, they can't erase it. I'm just telling the truth. I'm just telling you the truth. It's true. I'm serious, y'all. To hear that in the meeting, that brother saying it, man, it was eye-opening to me and you. Next up, the movement is global. The movement, the energy, just has to continue to grow. You don't have to fuss with them no more, y'all. Stand on your point of view and move on from it. So what do we learn now? What do? We learn our wounds. We move correctly. And we know going into the rest of this year, the political awareness will be at the top of the story. Now that I'm getting to the closing point of Live on Sunday, man, I want to thank everybody that tapped in with me. I will be back again for another edition of Live on Sunday with some updates for my people. I want to thank everybody that tapped in with me like you normally do, man. Comment, like, share the live. Give me your feedback on the channel. I want to thank everybody that got to tune in with me this evening, man. Late night, I know, but I'm still thankful you were here with me. You could be anywhere in the world, and you chose to be here with your boy. We have a mind of victory lap and a mind of celebration. Celebrate it. Send the video. Tell everybody the progress that you know. Remember, the word is out. I left a meeting where I heard the word tangibles being mentioned. And I smiled. What that let me know, it ain't over, but the progress is coming around. Make sure you spread the word. Make sure you let them know. They tried to ignore us, but they can't. The words that went out, they will not stop. Give your story. Speak on your experiences on the FBA and non-FBA matters. I want to again thank you for commenting, liking, sharing the live. If you watch it on the playback, please let me know what your favorite time and what favorite subject is. Until next time, call your daddy. Check on your mama. Call your uncle. Call your brother. Call your sister. Check on your family. Make sure you let them know that you love them. Make sure you let them know that I hope I get to celebrate and spend time with you. Because like I did with my slain brother, you don't know when it's going to be your last time. Thank you for tuning in. I know Wednesday, y'all. My bad Wednesday. You know, I messed up. I agree with that. But until next time, call your people. Check on your loved ones and your family. Comment, like, subscribe, share to the channel. Hey. Hey.